plan reached at any moment. Fox 6's Linda Schmidt is monitoring these developments from the newsroom at this hour. Linda, what's the latest?
Yeah, hi there, Bianca. Well, you know, the president was supposed to start talking at 11 o'clock. They're running about an hour behind, so we are waiting for him to hold his news conference. In the meantime, the president and his negotiating team, they were able to get this peace deal, the first phase of it anyway, over the finish line with the help of Egypt, Turkey, and Qatar. They all put pressure on Hamas to accept this deal. A ceasefire is scheduled to begin within 24 hours of the Israeli cabinet approving the peace plan, and that is expected to happen within the next couple of hours. Now, there is celebrating, as you can imagine, on both sides, the families of hostages and their supporters singing and dancing now that the remaining hostages are going to be released on Monday. There are 48 hostages, 20 are believed to be alive. And in Gaza, more cheering as many people were glued to their televisions and their cell phones, hearing that Israel and Hamas have signed off on the first phase of Mr. Trump's peace plan. Now, the plan includes Israel releasing about 1,700 Palestinian prisoners. And this is the location right here where it is all happening, where the delegations from the U.S., Israel, and Hamas are meeting to work out the details of this deal. Again, President Trump is scheduled to speak at any moment about this historic deal. What is not clear at this point, though, is whether Hamas will agree to disarm, which President Trump has demanded, and exactly what a government is going to look like in Gaza. This is all part of the future phases of this peace deal. Part of the deal would include Hamas not playing any role in governing the region. Now, President Trump has also said that he will be traveling to the Middle East this weekend, and he will be addressing Israel's parliament on Sunday. That's just one day before the hostages are scheduled to be released on Monday. Bianca, back upstairs to you.
All right, Linda, thank you so much for the update. And for the very latest developments on the Mideast agreement, you can stay up to date on the Fox local app right on your phone. Meanwhile, some more developing news to tell you about right now. City and state leaders calling out the Trump administration for pulling funding intended to protect New Yorkers. The city has filed an amicus brief that supports the state's legal battle against the Trump administration's decision to revoke $12 million in federal funding for counterterrorism for the subway. It specifically targets Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The brief says cutting the funding violates the statute organizing and authorizing a counterterrorism grant. City and state leaders say the New York City subway system faces more of a risk of terrorist attack than any other transit systems in the country.
But I want to be very clear on what is happening from Washington. They are defunding the police. Full stop. They cannot argue with the fact that there was funding to help the police, protect our communities, and the federal government without justification, no rationale.
Well, Kristi Noem and the Trump administration have not yet commented on this brief. Let's turn now to weather. A significant change in temperatures today. Let's bring in meteorologist Audrey Puente at the Weather Center. Audrey, this was 2 layers today plus a jacket, especially in the morning. It's not too bad when you step outside, though.
Definitely. It feels more comfortable right now compared to this morning, Bianca, where it was chilly to start off our day and factor in the winds, and it's making it feel even cooler outside across the tri-state area. We have plenty of sunshine being found overhead. That's the case in Central Park, where the temperature is at 55 degrees, 56 in LaGuardia with sunshine. We have a few more clouds around Atlantic City, where they're checking in at 61 degrees right now. Now, it's going to be even colder tonight, and that's why the National Weather Service has issued some frost advisories for parts of New Jersey. That's the lighter blue shaded tones. Up in the purple section, that's where we have freeze warnings. So if you have any tender plants outside or vegetation, you want to bring them indoors tonight so they won't be killed by any frost overnight. We are expecting temperatures to stay a little bit below average, and rain is ahead in the forecast. I'll have the details coming up. Bianca?
All right, Audrey, sounds good. Thanks so much. Meanwhile, we are following some developing news now at noon. The man charged in the deadly Brooklyn subway attack is due in court today. Fox 6's Lisa Evers live from downtown Brooklyn with more on this. Lisa.
Well, Bianca, it was fast work by NYPD detectives and the Brooklyn DA that brought this suspect to justice less than 48 hours after this horrific attack. We're here at Brooklyn Criminal Court awaiting the arraignment of a 25-year-old career criminal on murder charges for allegedly beating and kicking a subway rider so viciously he died. At the 84th precinct in Brooklyn, 25-year-old David Mazariegos was brought in handcuffs to be charged with 2 counts of murder, robbery, and grand larceny. The NYPD tells us that Tuesday afternoon, he confronted 64-year-old Nicola Tanzi at the J Street Metrotech subway station at Willoughby and Bridge Streets. Officers responding to the scene found the victim beaten all over his body. He was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. Police Commissioner Tisch says right after the attack, the entire NYPD got an alert with the suspect's picture on it on their department-issued telephones. Now, police on routine patrol in Times Square recognized him and captured him. When they arrested him, he had a more than 20-inch long samurai sword, as well as 4 of the victim's credit cards. Now, he's expected to go before a judge sometime this afternoon. In the meantime, this poor man's family has to cope with this sudden loss. We're live at Brooklyn Criminal Court. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News. Bianca, back to you.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. All right, Lisa, thanks so much. Meanwhile, the government shut down now in its 9th day. Lawmakers remain at odds over health care funding as the stalemate drags on. The IRS began furloughing half of its staff on Wednesday. The shutdown is also causing staffing issues at air traffic control towers, resulting in delays at airports nationwide. Controllers are expected to show up without pay, but more are calling out sick. Meanwhile, we're less than a month away from the New York City mayoral election and the election of New Jersey's governor. Next at noon, the fiery final debate between the 2 candidates for governor of the Garden State.
Exceptions.
All right, turning now to the very latest in the race for New York City Mayor. Zohran Mamdani sitting for a discussion with the Association for a Better New York. This nonprofit focuses on implementing ideas that improve life for New Yorkers. Mamdani told the crowd that affordability is the #1 issue he hears about from voters. Commenting on the government shutdown, he said that he's proud of the New York congressional delegation for standing strong in the budget fight to protect against healthcare cost increases. Now, Curtis Lewa will sit down with in Albany next Wednesday. Meanwhile, Sliwa campaigning once again in the subway today. He greeted New Yorkers at the 68th Street Hunter College 6 train station on the Upper East Side this morning. He says the transit system, that's a major issue for New Yorkers in the mayor's race. He also says his opponents not paying enough attention to it. Sliwa says more needs to be done to stop fare evasion and also blamed budget cuts for the NYPD for taking away units specifically trained to deal with mentally and emotionally disturbed people on the subway. No public campaign events scheduled so far for Andrew Cuomo today. All right, for the very latest on New York City's mayor's race, tune into Battleground NYC, the fight for your vote, hosted by SE Cup. You can catch that weeknights at 7 p.m. on the Fox Local app and at 11 p.m. right here on Fox 5. Meanwhile, we are less than a month away before New Jersey's pivotal election for governor, and the candidates came out swinging during the second and final debate. Fox 5's Antoine Lewis is here, and Antoine, things got fiery over taxes, opioids, and of course, President Trump.
Keep going, keep going. Bianca, the hour-long debate started out civil, but about two-thirds in, that's when the boxing match began. Democrat Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli met for the final time last night, with things eventually turning contentious on multiple subjects, including the Hudson River Tunnel Project and the ongoing government shutdown. One of the sharpest exchanges taking place when Sherrill accused Ciattarelli of spreading bad information about opioid use when he was owner of a medical publishing company. Take a listen.
I think the people you got addicted and died deserve better than you. And I'll tell you, tens of thousands here as you published misinformation, as you got more people addicted, as you got paid to develop an app so that more people could get more opioids and die.
I got to walk at my college graduation.
I
got to walk at my college graduation.
And I'm so glad that you then went on to kill tens of thousands of people in New Jersey, including children,
and I never broke the law.
As they got.
Now, what Ciattarelli is referencing is Sherrill not walking during her graduation from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1994 because of a cheating scandal in which Sherrill says she refused to turn in classmates to administrators. She defended what she called accountability and accused Ciattarelli of not having any. Trump administration policies also repeatedly coming up, with both candidates being asked to grade the president's performance in office so far.
Right now, I'd certainly give the president an A. I think he's right about everything that he's doing. He has secured the border and the economy. We've got inflation is much lower than it was when Joe Biden was in the White House, and particularly because of what he's done specific to New Jersey.
I'd give him an F. Right now, we see at every single level, costs are going up on New Jerseyans. So whether it's the tariff costs that are costing you more from everything from a cup of coffee to the groceries you buy for dinner at night.
Now, a recent poll from Beacon Research shows Sherrill ahead by 8 points over Ciattarelli. Other polls have them actually in a dead heat. Election day, again, is less than 4 weeks away. We're staying on top of it, Bianca.
All right, we'll see what happens. Antoine, thanks so much. Meanwhile, an emotional reunion on Long Island next at noon, how a mother met her daughter decades after she was stolen at birth. And then say goodbye to the Yankees postseason. We've got moans coming from outside of here. Everyone's upset. We got a recap of the Pinstripes' rough end to the playoff run. Yeah, we can say a lot about that.
We're going to morgue it.
All right, it is a story 41 years in the making. A mother meets her daughter for the first time after her baby was stolen. The emotional reunion happening on Long Island, and Fox 5's Jody Goldberg shows us how the two found each other.
This will be the most beneficial for the future life of her daughter.
For as long as she can remember, Kate Saar believed her adoption story was one of love.
It was the fact that she was poor and she wanted me to have a better life.
But that story wasn't true. Kate has since learned she was never given up. She was taken.
Never would I ever have imagined that I was part of something like that.
And now, decades later,
I just wanted her to come out of the car.
The truth is bringing her face to face with her birth mom she never knew.
I can finally say I look like somebody. I see the characteristics. Like we even wear our eye makeup the same.
It was a moment 41 years in the making, and a hug that lasted minutes.
Didn't want to let go.
Now, under Pinochet's dictatorship from 1974 to 1991, thousands of Chilean babies were stolen from their mothers and sold into adoption overseas. They were known as the children of silence, as many as 30,000 of them across the world.
Some had the mothers told that their child had died at birth and weren't allowed to see them, that their bodies were cremated. Some mothers brought their child for their first doctor visit again to a government hospital, and their children were taken. And in this case, involved the Catholic Church.
Kate's doubts began last year during a trip to Chile.
Our tour guide started talking to us about things, and he said, oh, like, maybe you were part of the stolen babies that were taken from Chile because you were adopted.
She didn't think much of it until a Facebook message changed everything.
August 10th is when I saw all of this. I'm from the town of Tucapel. I'm writing to you because this is an attempt to contact you and your biological mother.
It was her birth mom, Paulina, who had been searching for her daughter ever since she was sedated in a convent.
She didn't know what had happened to her and why she was there, and because they kept her drugged the whole time.
Te amo. Te amo. Yeah.
The reunion made possible by the nonprofit Connecting Roots, founded by Tyler Graff, another Chilean adoptee whose own search became a mission to reunite others.
My family who adopted me taught me, to always help others.
For Kate's husband, Bill, the DNA match confirmed what her heart already knew.
100% match, and here we are.
Paulina will spend 10 days here. She's already met her grandkids and Kate's adopted mom, who supported her search for the truth.
We're already planning like Christmases and next year's vacations.
Making up for lost time, starting with a hug that neither one plans to ever let go of. In Smithtown, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Very sweet, emotional story there. All right, well, NJ Transit officials announcing a major modernization project. They say $75 million are going into the fare collection system. This includes 8-foot-high gates. Officials say this will speed up entry. It's going to protect against fare evasion. They also announced new mobile devices for collecting fares and improvements to the fare card. But not everything was technical. Officials also announced ticket collections are now in place on the platforms at the Princeton Junction station. Let's turn now to weather to see what's in store for us this afternoon. Definitely a chillier way to start the day off this morning. Meteorologist Audrey Puente is at the Weather Center with more on this. Audrey, not too bad right now, as long as you got like a nice sweater. And
yeah,
you're good.
And if you're on the sunny side of the street, for sure, Bianca. But it is still brisk out there because we do have windy conditions across the region. So yes, we're seeing plenty of sunshine. It is bright outside your window. When you step outdoors, you feel that it's bright out there. But it is feeling brisk because of that chilly wind coming in at about 25 miles per hour, at least gusts that we're expecting or experiencing across the region. Now tonight, we have freeze and frost alerts. I showed you earlier, there's some frost advisories in New Jersey, freeze warnings for the Hudson Valley. So it's going to get quite cold tonight. And we're also watching for a coastal storm to happen this coming weekend, which we'll talk more about coming up in a few minutes. Right now we're at 55 in Central Park. That's the same number we're finding in White Plains as well as over towards Bridgeport. 54 for you in Poughkeepsie. We're now up to 60 though in Newark, so we're faring better there. Out across the island we have 58 in Islip and 53 in East Hampton. And a lot of these temperatures are are cooler than they were at this time yesterday. But just check out the winds, though. Right now, the sustained winds are between 5 and 15 miles per hour. However, our gusts are even higher than that. We're gusting to 24 in Central Park, 26 in Islip, 23 in Bridgeport, and 23 in Poughkeepsie. So it's definitely adding to the chill factor today, making it feel quite cold outside, especially if you're walking around in the shade. Stay on the sunny side of the street. Satellite and radar is showing that we're clear here. We have plenty of sunshine, no clouds in place, and no rain, of course. And that's the same case across the entire Northeast. We have high pressure in control, keeping our weather pattern rather quiet and tranquil. In fact, much of the U.S. is pretty quiet. We have a couple of showers out towards the Rocky Mountain states, also the Pacific Northwest, and even down towards the southeastern states. We're seeing a couple of showers grazing the coastlines of the Carolinas, as well as over towards Georgia and over towards Florida. But for us here, it's going to be sunshine and bright conditions. 60 degrees will be a high temperature in Central Park. Again, it'll be a blustery day, though, so factor in the winds. It'll feel a little chillier than that 60 degree reading. Tonight, we dropped down to 43 in the city. Check out some of the suburbs below the freezing mark, especially north of the city where we have those freeze warnings in effect. And then looking at the next several days, we are expecting a coastal storm that will bring rain into the region here for Sunday and Monday. We'll talk more about that coming up. Bianca?
All right, sounds great. Audrey, thanks so much. What doesn't sound great is another Yankee season coming to a disappointing end in the Bronx. This all happened last night. The Yanks faced a 2-1 deficit in the best of 5 divisional series against the Blue Jays. The offense that led the major leagues in runs scored once, and again, they fell silent. The team managed just 6 hits and 2 runs against a succession of relievers for Toronto. With a 5-2 win, the Blue Jays advanced to the American League Championship round. And we got a consumer alert for you next at noon. Cybersecurity experts warning over scammers' uses of artificial intelligence to try to get a hold of your personal info. Welcome back. A cybersecurity expert says scammers are now using AI to target and steal your personal information. UNLV cybersecurity professor Greg Moody says that scammers can now use AI chatbots such as ChatGPT to find someone's personal information. Moody says that all you have to do is type in a little bit of information about a person to the chatbot, and information like where you work, your boss's name, where you went to school, and if you own a home, and will become available. The professor spoke on how this information can be used against you.
Attacks are all about making someone trust you. And how do you get someone to trust you? You make them believe that they're part of your in-group. How do you do that? You talk to them and say, I know this about you, so therefore we're similar. So can you do me a favor?
Moody says to avoid being scammed, double-check emails or calls that feel off and then reach back out to the person using a different method of communication. And Lyft being criticized over a new feature that tells its drivers how often passengers tip before they accept ride requests. Screenshots shared by Lyft drivers on social media show that there is now a small banner on the app that shows the percentage of rides that a passenger tipped their driver. Many Lyft customers blasted the move over concerns that it violates their privacy and that there's too much pressure for passengers to tip. A Lyft spokesperson told Bloomberg that the company is analyzing data on the feature before it decides to fully roll it out. And it's going to cost you more to visit the most magical place on earth. Disney has reportedly raised ticket prices at its resorts again. MickeyVisit.com says one-day ticket prices at Disney World went up $10 yesterday to $209. Disneyland saw even steeper price increases with tickets on high-demand days topping $224. Prices for parking, that also increased too. Disney says it's offering a variety of ticket, hotel, and dining options to accommodate all of its fans at each park. Well, Instagram announced a brand new reward for its top creators. The social media app says it will give 25 creators a new Rings Award. If a creator is given a Ring Award, they will receive a physical gold ring as well as a virtual gold ring around their Instagram profile icon. The company created a panel that will nominate their favorite creators and vote for who deserves the spots. The new reward comes as brand deals and creator bonus programs slowly decline. All right, next at noon, it is game day at MetLife Stadium. We're talking all things Giants-Eagles on Thursday Night Football, airing right here on Fox 5. Stay with us.
Fox 5.
Well, it's 12:30 right now. Welcome back to the noon. Got a whole lot more coming up here, starting with this clubbing for crackers. Yes, a Cheez-Its themed nightclub is actually coming to the East Village this weekend, and we've got Studio Cheese here on the noon to give us a taste of the menu, including Cheez-Its martinis. We're trying them live. You don't want to miss this. And Fox 5 sports producer Lou Albanese and I are talking Giants-Eagles with Good Morning Football overtime ahead of kickoff tonight, airing right here on Fox 5. But let's first get another live look outside on this Thursday. A little kicking and screaming here because we woke up in some much cooler temperatures, but you know, it's fine. Throw in a sweater, a jacket, and deal with it. It's not too bad. Look, there's no rain, so I can't complain.
Right. We had to take the good with the bad, fortunately. And it looks like we only had a chill this morning, Bianca. Right now, temperatures are responding nicely to some of the sunshine that we're experiencing across the region. But check out the morning lows from earlier today. We were in the 30s in Monticello and over towards Scranton. It was 40s for you in parts of the Hudson Valley as well as northwest New Jersey. We bottomed out here in the 50s in and around the city, but it was pretty chilly this morning. And tomorrow we're expecting another cold start to the day, and that's why the National Weather Service has these frost advisories and freeze warnings in effect for tonight into tomorrow morning, so expect another cold start to the day for your Friday. Right now we're in the 50s in the city as well as White Plains, Bridgeport, and across Long Island. We've now hit 60 degrees over towards Newark. Elsewhere across the Northeast, temperatures are in the 50s in New England, same thing up towards the Capital District. And to our south, we have 62 in Philadelphia and 61 right now in Atlantic City. No clouds on the radar. In fact, no rain either across the Northeast. We have high pressure in control, and that's going to keep things quiet for us today as well as into tomorrow. I want to take a quick check of the tropics here. We're watching Tropical Storm Jerry. We just had an update here at about an hour ago on the system, and it's still a tropical storm as its winds are sustained at about 65 miles per hour. So that is close to hurricane status. When we get to 74, then it becomes a Category 1 storm, and that is projected to be the forecast here. It is moving west-northwest at about 13 miles per hour and expected to intensify into a hurricane as we go into the end of the day on Friday. The good news is it's staying away from any mainland areas. In fact, it's passing east of Bermuda, which is located right here, and will take a swift turn out towards the Atlantic as we get into the beginning of next week. In the meantime, closer to home, we have plenty of sunshine here. High pressures in control, keeping things quiet for us for your Thursday. Same thing will happen for Friday, too. This high continues to center over the Northeast, giving us a nice and dry weather pattern. We start to see a few clouds beginning to filter the sky here as we go into Friday morning here along the Jersey Shore and the east end of Long Island, but that's about it. We're going to stay rain-free right through the end of the week here, and then all eyes will be on this area of low pressure coming in from the west and one coming up from the south. These are expected to actually merge their sort of waves of energy here and form a nor'easter that will bring us a good amount of rainfall as we go into Sunday. And that has prompted the National Weather Service to go ahead and give us an alert that a coastal flood advisory will be, we're in a coastal flood watch that actually begins Sunday morning right through Monday evening, as that's when we're expecting the bulk of the rain, and there could be flooding along the Jersey Shore, especially the times of high tide with that strong northeasterly fetch, which we'll be watching over the next couple of days. In the meantime, tonight, very quiet and clear and cold, too. We're dropping down to at or below freezing north and west of the city. And once again, that's also where we have the freeze warnings and frost advisories in effect. So tomorrow we'll have plenty of sunshine again with a high of about 63 degrees. Some more clouds start to filter in our sky here on Saturday. That's ahead of the nor'easter that will be developing, but it really doesn't impact us until Sunday. Lots of rain and wind will be here for Sunday as well as into Monday. And then we turn much drier by Tuesday with temperatures rebounding back into the upper 60s by Wednesday. Bianca, over to you.
All right, looks good. Audrey, thanks so much. Well, superhero, Star Wars, and Star Trek fans, act fast if you want to get to New York City Comic-Con. That's because tickets for the 4-day event, they're only available for today. Yeah, it lasts until Sunday, but after today, all tickets are sold out. This year's event will include celebrities like Charlie Cox, Lawrence Fishburne, Bryce Dallas, and Elliot Page. The event features panels, cosplay, well-known comic book characters, and some you might not have heard of, as Good Day New York's Ryan Christopher found out.
What's the significance of cabbages with this series?
Listen, the Cabbage Merchant is a very, very important character in the Avatar universe, and unfortunately, we do destroy his cabbage cart multiple times. So to make up for it, we have limited cabbages and little recipes to make cabbage scones every morning at the Nickelodeon booth. So come help redeem the Cabbage Merchant and get your cabbage first thing.
All right, more than 250,000 fans are expected to attend the 4-day event. And if you're going, the best way to get around is New York City Comic-Con app that can help make your reservations and see the schedule of the events. And if you don't want to pay, just go to the 7 train. They're all there for free. It's such a fun experience. All right, next at noon, Good Morning Football Overtime joins us to talk Giants-Eagles tonight, airing right here on Fox 5. Plus, trick or treat, but a tote. We're diving into the craze behind the Trader Joe's Halloween mini bags. These are so cute. We're talking about them after.
strength.
Well, Trader Joe's taking over the fashion scene once again. The store's mini tote bags have been an ongoing craze, but now there is renewed hype for their Halloween-themed bags. Fox 5's Meredith Gorman checks out the latest tote trend.
It's kind of hard to imagine the hottest item in Trader Joe's this week. And it's not even something you can eat. It's the store's new Halloween mini totes that hit shelves Wednesday. Some fans lined up outside Manhattan stores before doors even opened, while others stopped in throughout the day, hoping to snag one before they're gone.
I always go for the lunch. The second for my daughter, she's 11-year-old, Anya, and she said, "Papa, you have to go get it." I'm like, I will try. And I'm late. I know people usually in the line this in the morning was very busy.
The small canvas bags, priced at just $2.99 each, are a spooky twist on the viral mini totes that sold out earlier this year. This new drop comes in 4 Halloween-ready styles: orange, black, purple, and a multicolor version with bright green handles. Photos and videos of long lines and sold-out shelves are already popping up on social media, with some Manhattan locations limiting customers to 4 bags each, one in every color.
Well, when I walked in, there were like 4 left, and I'm like, maybe I'll think about it, but within seconds it was gone.
Other shoppers had better luck. At the Trader Joe's on 59th Street, the totes were still available well into lunchtime.
It was easy today. I just walked in for my lunch break, and the queue was easy. The people are doing it easily, and no fights over the bags.
There's no line. There's no one is there. I just ran in and out.
And for visitors from abroad, these bags have become the ultimate fall souvenir. With the Halloween totes only sold in U.S. stores for a limited time, international fans are racing to get theirs before heading home.
We are tourists. We're from Germany. We just came for the bags here, so we didn't flew to New York for the bags. But we saw yesterday on Instagram that they have the bags, so we came here, and it was pretty easy to get one. Yeah. And they are really pretty, and it's a very nice souvenir.
At Trader Joe's, even a tote bag can cause a Halloween frenzy. Meredith Gorman, Fox 5 News.
Might be the cheapest souvenir they pick up on the streets here as well. All right, when you think about New York City nightclubs, you probably think of loud music, strobe lights, dancing. But what about something a little more cheesy? Next at noon, Cheez-Its, you know the brand. They're here to talk to us about their first ever New York City nightclub, Studio Cheese. This is legitimately a real thing, and they're making Cheez-Its martinis. Just wait, we're trying them live.
on Fox.
All right, it's Big Blue versus the Birds. The Giants host the divisional rival Eagles tonight on Thursday Night Football, airing right here on Fox 5. Jamie, we got to start off strong here because the last appearance was not that strong. Jackson Dart, the Giants, they got to bounce back on this short week. This is tough.
This is really tough. I mean, talk about being a rookie quarterback and trial by fire, and the fact that, you know, he loses Malik Neighbors and he's getting chased all over the field in New Orleans. I personally thought that was going to go very differently from Jackson Dart, having been an SEC product, having played at LSU. His college coach was in the stadium against the Saints. But, man, the Giants could not figure that out in New Orleans, and I can't believe that they coughed that game up. However, I still have faith in Brian Daboll. I think he is one of the smartest coaches in the NFL, and I hate to see what people are saying about how does he navigate the rest of the season? What does this look like for him? We are seeing a lot of young quarterbacks having connection, great connection, whether it be Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. I think this thing can work out for Jackson Dart and Brian Daboll. And if not a win tonight, because the Eagles are good, you need to see progress. That's the most important thing for Jackson Dart. Rely on your run game. Rely on your good buddy in the run game. And I think the Giants they got to be able to handle their business tonight.
I agree.
You know what, Jamie? Saquon last year came in, first time back. He downplayed it, had a great season. This year he's struggling, hasn't had 100 yards. Is this the game he breaks through?
I hope not. If you're the Giants defense, I think that's done. That's a tactical decision. I don't know what's going on with the Eagles offense. That is for sure fodder, at least on the national stage. And for Good Morning Football, we spent at least 35 minutes on what the heck is going on with the Philadelphia Eagles and the fact that they're holding non-players, players-only meetings, and Saquon Barkley has to come out and clarify what they're doing offensively and why Jalen and AJ and Saquon have to sit together. But I think if you're Saquon, coming off the year you had last year, this team understanding if you're that good, if you think you ever want to just whisper the word repeat for a Super Bowl, you have to save your legs underneath you. And if you're 4-1 and you can't figure out how to get the ball to AJ and Saquon, yet you're still 4-1, then, you know, I think they're doing that intentionally. However, on a short week, it might be run game, punch it to the Giants tonight.
All right, let's talk about the Jets because they're traveling to London to take on the Broncos this Sunday. The recipe for the Jets returning home with their first win of the season, which is a tough one to say. They've already gotten so much backlash on social media, people saying stay there, which is like, it's tough. It's tough for them. But what can they do to pull this one off?
Sometimes you just got to catch magic in a pan. I think if you're the Broncos, you've had kind of a tricky schedule. You have to go from home to Philadelphia, Philadelphia to London, and travel to London no matter what. I have done a dozen games internationally on the sideline. And when I tell you that second, third day, it hits different when it comes to exhaustion in your body and you feel so backwards. It's he who shows up when the ball is kicked off on these international games and physically can take the best of the other man, that's who comes out on top. If Aaron Glenn wants to make a stamp as to what his coaching means and matters to the New York Jets, it's you got to take it to the Broncos. And again, I understand that people are having issue with Aaron Glenn looking for moral victories or talking about how they have great times at practice. You might not be able to beat the Broncos, but if you can play physically, beat them up, you know, lose by a field goal, lose by 2, have a chance at the end, I still think that that's going to mean something. But, man, if not anywhere else, you could catch something special in London and maybe steal one from the Broncos.
All right, Jamie, certainly appreciate talking to you. We're going to wish our teams the best of luck, right?
Giants tonight. We'll see.
All right, Jamie, thanks again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And guess what? In the next next hour rather, Lou and I are going to keep this conversation going. A little Yankees debrief, pack your tissues, and some Tay-Tay and Travis Kelce news. He's finally speaking out in that song that's all about his manhood. That is live on the Fox Local and the Fox 5 YouTube page. You do not want to miss it. And you can catch the Giants-Eagles game at MetLife Stadium right here on Fox 5. Pre-game coverage starts tonight at 7:30. Kickoff set for 8:15. Okay, move over Studio 54. There is a new club lighting up New York City, and this one is serving something a little more crunchy. Cheez-It just opened Studio Cheese. It's a full-on Cheez-It themed nightclub in the East Village with a Cheez-It disco cube, a Cheez-It tap, and even Cheez-It infused cocktails. It is wild, and it's open this weekend only. So, of course, we had to get a taste of the action, obviously. It's the new, come on now, join us now, Renee Jaquez, bartender at Studio Cheese. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
When I heard you guys were doing this, I said, you guys got to come here first. We got to try the Cheez-Its cocktails and everything else going on. Tell me about this whole Studio Cheese, first of all.
So Studio Cheese is emblematic with the fact that we don't want to let the good times stop.
Love that.
You're in the middle of the club, you're having fun, but at that point you're like, oh, I need something, I gotta leave, I gotta dip. No, you're staying. Because we have the Cheez-Its for you. We have the snacks, we have the drinks, we have all the goodness.
Okay, so talk to us about some of the snacks you can get first. You're dancing, you're hungry, you need a little pick-me-up. What we got?
So we have a couple options for you.
Okay.
We can either start with sort of our little platter here, and we have something for the fancy pickers, something for the New Yorkers, something for the veggie people. So we have here hummus with cucumber and original Cheez-Its cracker.
Okay.
And then for the other veggie option, we have a caprese with a balsamic reduction.
Okay, I'm also seeing you got some very fancy right here.
I think that everybody loves a little bump, but I don't know about everybody, but it's me. So a little caviar and creme fraiche on original Cheez-Its cracker goes a long way.
Okay, I obviously have to try.
Hello.
I mean, yes. I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay, I've tried this with like chips before, but Cheez-Its?
Yes. And let those flavors very ratatouille.
This is it.
Together, right?
This is it. Okay, this is so good.
And
okay, what else
we
do we
have? A little New Yorker. We cannot not shout out the Reuben with our beautiful Thousand Island dressing, and we have some sauerkraut as well. We're going in.
Oh
Bianca,
my God! Look at
all.
this! Look at this! It's a little mini sandwich. I mean,
Just right in between. Get that crunch. Are we hearing the crunch at home?
I'm sorry, but this is so good.
It's delicious.
This is so good.
It's the best thing since sliced bread.
Okay, so you can get all this stuff.
You can get all this stuff and more. This is just a little taste, a little tease. But then we also have our amazing little pop rolls. They're going to be stuffed with goat cheese and cranberry.
Oh my God, you guys elevated the Cheez-It. I mean, it didn't need any help already, but you guys really elevated it. You also brought drinks, which to me, that was like, we have to try the Cheez-It drinks.
Okay, let's get into it. So we're gonna first put our little glasses down here, and we're going to do a cheese-tini.
I love that.
Cheese-tini. So what we're going to do is our infused vodka. We're infusing vodka with our original Cheez-Its cracker.
I love it. This is
2
so
shots
good.
of vodka. Just a little more.
Yeah, you can do yeah.
It's 2 of us, right?
Might as well.
I keep forgetting that there's multiple people.
Okay, so this is also only available this weekend. That's the crazy part. You have to come check this out. You only have a couple days to do it. Is it open to the public? How can people come?
It's open to the public. We are doing an 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. sitch.
I love that.
And it's going to be open to all. Please come. We'd love to have you. We're going to get a little spatula. You never need that much ice.
Yeah.
What you need is a salt shake.
Love. The only way how. I love this. You can literally get a Cheez-It martini there at Studio Cheese. Are you going to be serving up drinks there in person?
I am there tonight.
Okay, so we can come see you.
You can come see me, tell me how I did. And then we're going to show off a little bit for the TV. Folks at home, we're going to split this.
Oh my God, look at this. Okay. I mean, I'm a big fan of like an extra dirty martini, filthy martini, but you're telling me there's Cheez-Its infused in here. I'm like, this is going to be a favorite of mine.
Well, for the dirty martini drinker and the lover, we are also adding a little bit of a pickled garlic juice to it.
To this one? To this one. Oh, okay, so that's already infused in there.
That's already infused in there.
Oh, look at you. Okay. Well, salut.
Salut.
Salut. Okay, information for people to come check it out again. Where can they find it? Is there a website?
It's going to be at Virgo Nightclub, 324 Grand Street, the Lower East Side. Please come all.
I love this. Okay, cheers to this. We got to try our Cheez-Its martini. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to be there till 2. Yeah, you're going to have to kick me out of the Club Cheez-Its. All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We've got more noon still straight ahead. Well, it will come as no surprise for anyone who sat in traffic or searched for a parking spot in the city. A new report ranks New York as one of the worst cities to drive in. That report from Wallet Hub looked at factors like gas prices, the number of hours spent in traffic per year, even the ease of finding an auto repair shop. New York struggled across the board, coming in at number 97 out of the top 100 cities. At the very bottom of the list, Philadelphia making it the most miserable city to have a car in. All right, let's get a final check of the forecast. Audrey Puente standing by with more. Hey, Audrey.
Hi, Bianca. Well, we have clear skies out there, plenty of sunshine. That's helping to brighten things up, and it's also keeping things a little bit better for us on the sunny side of the street, for sure, because it's a little chilly outside, and we'll have windy conditions with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures will be a little bit below normal for our highs. We're going for 60 degrees in Central Park, 61 in Islip, and 62 out towards Newark. We'll be in the 50s in other spots, and tonight our temperatures will take a big drop, especially north and west of the city. That's where we have readings that will be below the freezing mark, and as a result, we do have freeze warnings and frost advisories in effect for the Hudson Valley and interior New Jersey. So if you have any tender vegetation or plants, you want to bring them indoors. Here are those advisories I just mentioned. Frost advisory for the areas painted in light blue here, purple shaded areas. That's where we have a freeze warning during the overnight hours of tonight. After that, we'll have plenty of sunshine to go along with our Friday here. That'll warm us up to 63 degrees. More clouds coming in on Saturday. They're coming in ahead of a nor'easter that will bring us a lot of rain and wind starting on Sunday. That will last right through Monday, and then it will turn much drier and calmer as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Bianca, over to you.
All right, Audrey, thanks so much. Well, that is our show, but before we go, here's one last thing to leave you with. Take a look at this art that's more than meets the eye. All the pieces made from historic hair, like locks from Marilyn Monroe and even Ozzy Osbourne. The works have been presented at Layla's Hair Museum in Missouri for decades, but after the creators passing last year, the museum now set to close, and the art is now being relocated to museums across the country. The total collection estimated to be worth more than $1 million. Interesting. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. 25 words or less is next, and if you want more news, tune into the Fox Local app, streaming right now.
Thursday, October 9th. Happy Thursday, everybody. Antoine Lewis, happy to be with you on this glorious day. It's bright and sunny, but it is also chilly. We're going to get more on that when we talk about weather. But welcome to Newsroom Live from the newsroom here at Fox 5 Studios on the Upper East Side in Midtown Manhattan. We're going to get to a couple of stories here. We're following major developments, a couple of breaking stories. The first happening north of us in Orange County in Newburgh, a homicide investigation now underway. And here's what we can tell you. Around 8:17 this morning, officers there responding to a shooting call in the 800 block of North Miller Street. And again, this is in Newburgh, New York. What we're understanding, officers arrived and found a young male, 11 years old, deceased, died inside of a residence there. So this is the video that you're looking at right now. Again, this is still unfolding. We're still working to gather more information. But again, a homicide, a murder investigation involving an 11-year-old boy is now underway by detectives in Orange County in the city, the town of Newburgh. So we're going to be staying on top of that. The other story we want to talk to you about is the breakthrough and developments now underway, now happening in the war in the Middle East between Hamas and Gaza, Hamas and Israel. We want to take a listen in right now for the president, who's having a cabinet meeting. We're going to show you a picture of that, and then we're going to continue our discussion. So again, this is happening now. It's been in development for a little more than an hour. A major breakthrough, possible talks of a possible ceasefire, but there's definitely a breakthrough in the war, in the negotiations between Hamas and Israel. I'm going to bring in my colleague Linda Schmidt, because Linda's been following this, and Linda actually broke this in our noon newscast, sharing this information, the first to report it on our air. Linda, what do you make of this?
Okay, well, first of all, this is an historic agreement here that we're talking about, and this is going to lead to a ceasefire. This is the first phase of the peace plan that the president proposed to both Israel and Hamas. So we have delegations currently in Sharm el-Sheikh. It's a resort area in Egypt, and they are hammering out all of the details of this. The first phase has been approved by both Israel and Hamas. So now I want to go ahead, I want to go to some video here, because you can see the celebrating that is going on in both Israel and in Gaza. What this is going to lead to, a ceasefire is scheduled to begin within 24 hours of the Israeli cabinet approving this peace plan. Now, the cabinet should be approving that plan right about now. Once it does, then within 24 hours, a ceasefire goes into effect. Also, Israeli forces will begin to start withdrawing from Gaza. Not entirely, but the process will begin. Within 72 hours of the ceasefire beginning, that is when the hostages are supposed to be released. Now, there are 48 hostages. Only 20 are believed to be alive. Okay. So the president, again, as you were just talking about, he's currently having his cabinet meeting, and he addressed this issue, and he had a lot to say about this, because the U.S. delegation is the one that really got this peace plan over the finish line, at least the first phase of it, and that's what we're talking about here. Let's go ahead and listen to the president.
Tonight we reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done. We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East, we secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday. Getting them is a complicated process. I'd rather not tell you what they have to do to get them. There are places you don't want to be, but we are getting the hostages back on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. And that'll be a day of joy. I'm going to try and make a trip over. We're going to try and get over there. And we're working on the timing, the exact timing. We're going to go to Egypt, where we'll have a signing, an additional signing. We've already had a signing representing me, but we're going to have an official signing. And the amazing thing is all of the countries over there, from Qatar to Saudi Arabia to UAE to all of them. I mean, the rich ones, the less than rich ones, they've all come together, something which is amazing, actually. They've all come together for this, and they're really probably the best relationships they've ever had. So it's been really something incredible that nobody thought it was possible to get it done. And very importantly, the hostages are coming back. As you know, they consider them hostages. They talk about them as hostages, but there are approximately 28 dead people, mostly young, mostly men. and boys. I mean, boys. The one woman talked about her baby. Her baby's 25 years old, but you know, to her it's her baby, and we're bringing them home. We're getting everything, and to those parents, the dead young man is just as important, as though this person were alive. It's amazing. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've been very much involved. I've never seen anything quite like it. But it's really peace in the Middle East. And you remember October 7th was terrible, but also from the Hamas standpoint, they probably lost 70,000 people. That's big retribution. That's big retribution. But at some point, that whole thing has to stop, and we're going to see to it. Gaza is going to be slowly redone. You have tremendous wealth in that part of the world by certain countries, and just a small part of that, what they make will do wonders for Gaza. And I think you're going to see some tremendous countries stepping up and putting up a lot of money and taking care of things. But there's tremendous spirit like I haven't seen. And even the news, I won't call it fake news for this purpose, because they really were very fair today, I must tell you, in all cases. But they covered it very well. They covered it very fairly. Everybody loves it, everybody. People that were never giving us a fair shake, frankly, they can't even believe it. They're so, they're amazed by it. A lot of people are. But it was just everything came together. I think the attack was very important on Iran, because let's say that didn't happen, they'd probably by now have a nuclear weapon, numerous nuclear weapons, and therefore, even if we signed a deal, there'd be a big dark cloud over it, and it wouldn't be the same thing. So Iran's different, but Iran wants to work on peace now. They've informed us, and they've acknowledged that they are totally in favor of this deal. They think it's a great thing. So we appreciate that, and we'll work with Iran. As you know, we have major sanctions on Iran and lots of other things. We would like to see them be able to rebuild their country too, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. So I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey for helping us reach this incredible day and for being there. They were there with us all the way. And of course, as you know, Saudi Arabia and Jordan and so many. I will tell you, President Erdogan was personally involved in dealing with Hamas and some of the others. He's been great. They've all been really amazing. Indonesia's been amazing. Indonesia's been fantastic. The whole world has come together for this. People that didn't get along, people that didn't like each other, neighboring countries that frankly didn't like each other, but now it's just this moment in time. So we look forward to welcoming the hostages, like you can't believe, home to their families, and that'll take place early next week. We hope Monday or Tuesday. And all Americans should be proud of the role that our country has played in bringing this terrible conflict to the end.
Okay, so we just wrapped up there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you have it. President Trump talking at his cabinet meeting. And by the way, that's still going on. He's talking about a variety of topics. The bottom line is this. They have reached a deal on the first phase. And the timeline is a little iffy here because we're going by Israeli time here. And Israel's about 7 hours ahead of us. So the Israeli cabinet is probably approving the deal right about this time. Within 24 hours, then the ceasefire takes effect. And then after that, within 72 hours, is when the remaining hostages will be released. So that's why you just heard the president talking about it could be Monday or it might be Tuesday. So that's how the timing is going to play out here.
Linda, you've covered international news, local news for a number of years here in New York City. So you've seen conflicts and things like this. How do you process this? Because this is a big deal. This is a very big deal.
Well, as I said at the top, it's historic. But we have been in places, not quite where we are right now, but we have been at points where they thought that they were going to be able to reach a peace deal. And so that they can live peacefully in the Middle East, in Gaza, in Israel.
The surrounding areas.
And the surrounding area, because whatever happens there, it has tentacles. So it goes into the other Middle Eastern countries, and it creates unrest there as well. One of the issues, too, is that Iran is a major culprit in this. Iran funds Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, and Iran has been funding this war. But now the pressure is so, they've been minimized at this point, Iran, because all of the other surrounding Muslim countries are supporting this deal and putting pressure on Hamas to agree to it. One thing, though, and again, this is phase one, there are going to be other phases to this peace plan. And the future phases include Hamas disarming and not playing any role in governing Gaza. So that is not going to be as easily reached, maybe, as the first phase has been. But Hamas knows that that's on the table, and it is a demand from President Trump. So we're going to have to wait and see how that one plays out. But for now, a major accomplishment and hopefully leading to lasting peace in that region.
And again, the fact that the hostages, are going to be released and that their families can have the closure in some instances of the welcoming home and the hugs that accompany that next week.
Right. Well, as we said at the top, there are 48 hostages, only 20 are believed to be alive. So 28 are deceased. But those families want the bodies back of their loved ones.
All right. Linda, thank you for that report. Thank you for being with us. And we'll see you at 4.
You bet. See you at 4.
All right. Newsblock with Linda Schmidt at 4. Thanks, Linda. Other news we want to also bring you up to date on the New Jersey governor's race, because the candidates had their third and final debate last night in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Now, let's show you some video of that. So Democrat Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli meeting for the final time. The boxing gloves came off relatively into that pretty quickly. They talked about a number of things: the Hudson River Bridge Tunnel, Trump policies, electric costs. But one of the sharpest exchanges took place when Sherrill accused Ciattarelli of spreading bad information when he was the owner of a medical publishing company. Take a listen to this.
And died deserve better than you. And I'll tell you, tens of thousands here, as you published misinformation, as you got more people addicted, as you got paid to develop an app so that more people could get more opioids and die.
I got to walk at my college graduation.
I
got to walk at my college graduation.
And I'm so glad that you then went on to kill tens of thousands of people in New Jersey, including children.
Now, what that reference is, let me explain it to you. That was Sherrill being referred to as not having walked during her college graduation from the U.S. Naval Academy back in 1994. That's what Ciattarelli was saying there. And she said in her defense that she didn't walk because she refused to turn in her classmates. And she said that she was standing up, being accountable, something that she accused him of not doing. Also, during the debate, both candidates were asked to grade the president's performance thus far, and they both had different perspectives. Listen to this.
Right now, I'd certainly give the president an A. I think he's right about everything that he's doing. He has secured the border and the economy. We've got inflation is much lower than it was when Joe Biden was in the White House, and particularly because of what he's done specific to New Jersey.
I'd give him an F. Right now, we see at every single level, costs are going up on New Jerseyans. So whether it's the tariff costs that are costing you more, from everything from a cup of coffee to the groceries you buy for dinner at night.
All right, and for the very latest on all things politics, both local and national, check out our shows that we just showed you. Thank you, Alex. Politics Unusual with Morgan McKay, Fridays at 6:30, right here on the platform to which you're viewing us. And then Battleground, NYC, the Fight for Your Vote with SC Cup, weeknights at 7 on Fox Local, and then following the 10 o'clock news right here on Fox 5. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about the chill in the weather with meteorologist Audrey Pointe. I'm Antoine Lewis. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to Newsroom Live. You're taking some looks outside, different skyline shots of our city here. But the one thing we want to tell you is clear. It's definitely clear, but the temperatures have seriously dropped. We want to bring in Audrey Pointe to talk a little bit about that. It was chilly last night and this morning.
It was, yes, it was. It was a kind of like a slap in the face type of cold. You need to find an extra layer, maybe some tights for some ladies.
A hat if you don't have any hair.
Hat, that's true. That would help. That would have been helpful this morning. Same thing tomorrow morning too, Antoine.
Got it.
We're expecting cold temperatures tonight. In fact, we do have freeze warnings and frost advisories for parts of the area overnight. So if you have tender vegetation, some plants outdoors. I know I left mine outdoors last night. Hopefully the poor thing's still alive. And but it's not in effect for New York City, so maybe mine is okay. But if you're north and west of the city, you want to bring in those plants for tonight because it's going to be pretty chilly.
So, where's the future cast? You know, I always get excited when you go through. Here it comes.
There it is.
Nothing
this
to
is
show.
Our Fox weather model, and yeah, it's there. It is. That's it. That's all we got because high pressure is in control.
Like the water's moving over to the right.
Right, but we have no clouds, and I mean, if you look outside, it's bright blue. We're not expecting any clouds, any rain as we go through the rest of the evening and afternoon here. Afternoon and evening, and then tomorrow more the same. We have high pressure in control, so that's going to keep things quiet for us for the next couple of days. The weekend, though, a little bit iffy now because now we're expecting a few showers to come in as we go into Sunday into Monday. So not sure why this is not advancing.
Yeah, with the 7-day.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is.
One. Okay, we'll try that one.
Thank you, Alex Meyer, our producer.
Yeah. So.
Look at the green. That's precipitation.
Yes, but that's well off to our south.
So we don't have to worry about that.
There's the Futurecast. You like the Futurecast?
You know I do.
Okay, it's pretty quiet. We are expecting a couple of clouds to come in tomorrow morning, like around the Jersey Shore. And you can see now the clouds will be increasing on Saturday. This model is indicating we're going to see some rain. It's still questionable, so I have to wait and see. It's really Sunday and Monday that I'm expecting the main event. We're expecting a nor'easter to develop and right up along the coast, and that will bring us wind and rain. And this 7-day is not even showing, that we're going to get that on Sunday. This is a no. This is the 7-day.
But we know we're experiencing 60s with lows in the 40s, right, for the next few days?
Yes. In fact, we'll be below freezing tonight in our suburbs, and that's why we have the freeze warnings and frost advisories in effect here.
Now we also had a couple of systems developing out in the was it the Atlantic or?
We only have one. It's Tropical Storm Jerry, which is sitting out there. Yes, that was on my graphics, which I see is not advancing. I don't know what happened there. Okay.
You tell us about Jerry.
Jerry is advanced. I mean, Jerry is not advanced. Jerry is now a tropical storm. Its winds are at about 65 miles per hour. Once it gets to 74 miles per hour, then we'll have a Category 1 hurricane, which is forecast for this weekend. So it is expected to intensify just to a Category 1 storm. Fortunately, it's going to bypass the islands, the Leeward Islands. We'll give some rough surf there, but we aren't expecting any landfall there or even Bermuda. It's going to pass east of Bermuda and then take a quick right turn to the Atlantic over by the beginning of next week.
So just going to go off to the right, basically.
Yes.
Pretty much. Now, as far as the temperatures go, are we on track? Is this about the time that they normally transition from the 70s?
We're a little bit below normal for today. Yeah, however, we're going to be back to normal by the end of the weekend. So temperatures will be actually back into the middle up to upper 60s as we go into the beginning of next week. Is that Jerry? That is not Jerry. That is the nor'easter that's headed our way.
Thank you, Alex.
We're going to leave Alex to the computer system here.
She brought us another system.
The streaming. She's going to leave her to the streaming. That's the nor'easter that's expected to come Saturday, and actually Sunday and Monday will be the brunt of it coming here.
Now, I know that you always, on your social media, keeping everybody informed and tracking things like that. I have a question for you. What's the weather like in Denmark right about now?
A little chilly, yes.
And you have firsthand knowledge of this, correct?
Yes, I was just there, yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
It was cool. I needed a leather jacket. I had to bring sweaters. However, it was dry and comfortable. Interesting, the temperature range, though. The temperature range is from morning to night and morning. It's only from like 50 to 59. That's it. Like, it doesn't drop too much, doesn't go up too much. So they don't
Copenhagen,
get much snow.
Was it?
I was in Copenhagen, yes. They don't have much snow there either, which I learned. And it's generally a flat plane. And you know what else I learned? It's the second happiest country in the world.
Okay.
Denmark is the second happiest country in the world, yes.
Just to ask you, on her Instagram stories, and
Yes.
we've shared before that we are pretty much best friends like that. And that transitions to what I was going to ask. What was it like? It was your first time there. You know, it's clearly voted one of the happiest places there.
I didn't know that until I got there.
How did you feel? Did you
was
find
happy.
yourself?
I was happy. I will say today's my first full day back in the city, and it's been a lot of energy coming at me. Like it's chaos here compared to there.
All right.
It's just chaos.
So now, when's the soonest we could possibly need umbrellas again?
I would say it's definitely Sunday and Monday.
Definitely Sunday and Monday.
Sunday and Monday. I'll be here Sunday to cover the nor'easter as it affects us, and Monday.
Okay.
So if everyone can tune in, and I'll be here with you.
All right. And that picture you texted me, did you buy that handbag?
I did buy the handbag.
Okay, all right. That's enough of me blowing up her business.
I'm a handbag lady. I'm not a shoe person. I'm a handbag.
No, she's not shoes. She is absolutely handbags. You know how many times I've sat on a little cushion there watching one, like, please just pick one.
Yes.
Please just pick one.
Yes.
But anyway. All right. You're going to be with Linda at 4 also, right?
No, I will not be with Linda at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be working on something for the 5.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we'll see you again at 5.
We'll see you. Oh, wait, is Linda doing the 4 o'clock? Oh,
Yeah.
then yes, I will be with Linda. Yes, I thought you meant here.
I told
I'm
you
sorry, with Channel
phone.
5. Yes, I will be with Linda at 4.
All right. All right, Audrey. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you afterwards. But stick right here for 1 second. I want you to watch this. Jody Goldberg did a very heartwarming piece yesterday for us that we want to share with you. A reunion between a mother and a daughter. And here's the twist. The daughter was actually abducted from the mother 41 years ago. Please check this out.
This will be the most beneficial for the future life of her daughter.
For as long as she can remember, Kate Saar believed her adoption story was one of love.
It was the fact that she was poor and she wanted me to have a better life.
But that story wasn't true. Kate has since learned she was never given up. She was taken.
Never would I ever have imagined that I was part of something like that.
And now, decades later,
I just wanted her to come out of the car.
The truth is bringing her face to face with her birth mom she never knew.
I can finally say I look like somebody. I see the characteristics. Like we even wear our eye makeup the same.
It was a moment 41 years in the making, and a hug that lasted minutes.
Didn't want to let go.
Now, under Pinochet's dictatorship from 1974 to 1991, thousands of Chilean babies were stolen from their mothers and sold into adoption overseas. They were known as the children of silence, as many as 30,000 of them across the world.
Some had the mothers told that their child died at birth and weren't allowed to see them, that their bodies were cremated. Some mothers brought their child for their first doctor visit, again, to a government hospital, and their children were taken. And in this case, involved the Catholic Church.
Kate's doubts began last year during a trip to Chile.
Our tour guide started talking to us about things, and he said, oh, like, maybe you were part of the stolen babies that were taken from Chile because you were adopted.
She didn't think much of it until a Facebook message changed everything.
August 10th is when I saw all of this. I'm from the town of Tucapel. I'm writing to you because this is an attempt to contact you and your biological mother.
It was her birth mom, Paulina, who had been searching for her daughter ever since she was sedated in a convent.
She didn't know what had happened to her and why she was there, and because they kept her drugged the whole time.
Yeah. The reunion made possible by the nonprofit Connecting Roots, founded by Tyler Graff, another Chilean adoptee whose own search became a mission to reunite others.
My family who adopted me taught me, to always help others.
For Kate's husband, Bill, the DNA match confirmed what her heart already knew.
100% match, and here we are.
Paulina will spend 10 days here. She's already met her grandkids. And Kate's adopted mom, who supported her search for the truth.
We're already planning like Christmases and next year's vacations.
Making up for lost time, starting with a hug that neither one plans to ever let go of. In Smithtown, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
All right, so if you're cool out there, that will certainly melt your hearts, of course. Now, okay, Yanks fans, I have to tell you about it. I know it's a tough time with the season officially coming to an end last night. So in case you haven't heard, the Yanks, they did lose to the Blue Jays in the best of the 5-game divisional series playoff. Now, the offense that had been Major League's most runs, most scored, once again, it fell silent. This team managing just 6 hits and 2 runs after a succession of relievers for Toronto. With the 5-2 win, the Blue Jays now advance to the AL Championship round. So, all right, tough news there. Okay, if you have not heard this one, Comic-Con is back in New York. It officially begins today. And if you're unfamiliar with this, this is what you see. This celebrates everything, comics, everything, anime, manga, all of that is all under one roof at the Javits Center there. You get to see people dressed out in costumes, cosplay, all of these things that are going on there. Now, this video is from this morning. Ryan Christopher was there. I'll actually be going out to do that, and we'll be covering this for the evening shows. But it's really interesting just to see how much creativity, people go in, like this guy here, clearly. I know the character's name, I just can't think of it, like that one right there. I know that's Marvel right there, the Green Goblin, I believe it was, and of course the Ninja Turtles. But these are the things that's on display. And one of the things, if you've never gone or just curious, to, be sure to just tune in, because you actually get to see and hear from people who are so passionate about it. And anytime that creativity, anytime that energy is on display, it's just a really good time. And so that's what I'll be working on for us today. And if you have a comment or a question, we want to invite you to leave those in our comment section there on the platform to which you're watching and viewing us with that now. So that you have it. Just before we say goodbye, I just want to quickly recap our top story. Again, there appears to be a major breakthrough in the Middle East in regards to the war between Israel and Hamas. Looks like a ceasefire could possibly begin within 24 hours. This after Israel and its cabinet, which are actually meeting right now, approves the conditions there, which would then mean the release of the 48 hostages, of which about 28 or so are believed to be deceased. That will actually start to happen, the releasing of the hostages. That should take place sometime between Monday and Tuesday. So there you have it, everybody. Next news is at 4 o'clock on the News Block with Linda Schmidt, followed by the 5 o'clock news right here.